Well, what a couple of enormous weeks we've had in sport, and it's only going to get better. It's the AFL Grand Final this weekend. We'll know who'll be playing in the NRL Grand Final by Sunday night. Plus, we're in the grip of spring racing in Sydney and Melbourne. How good is it? Who better to speak to about all that? Plenty more. Tim Gilbert. Great to see you, Timmy. Now, you're on assignment for Racing Dreams. Where are you at the moment?
Gleeson, a very good evening to you. I'm in absolute paradise. Paradise would be the word. We're at Arrowfield Stud, of course, in Scone, and it's breeding season, so it's a hive of activity. We're seeing mares foaling down, stallions covering mares in beautiful weather, and you can just see behind me here, that is Snitzel, the mighty stallion Snitzel, and his handler, Joe Hickey. We've been up here for Racing Dreams, of course, 9 a.m. every Saturday morning. I know that you're a compulsive viewer. You're there every Saturday morning to watch it. And, of course, you're a part of the original Racing Dreams. But I've been up here with John Massara for the past few days. We've done a story not only on the whole idea of the rise of the great Japanese horses. We're looking at Marzu as an Everest chance this year, of course, but also this place, this wonderful, wonderful place as the resting place of champions.
And what about Nature Strip, Timmy? I mean, he's just a beast, isn't he?
Yeah, I was at Royal Randwick on Saturday. That was an amazing win, wasn't it? It was the preview to the Everest. All these horses, Masked Crusader, Lost and Running, Eduardo, Marzu ran very, very well. And, of course, Nature Strip, this big Nakoni gelding, this champion, went across to the UK and dominated, won last year's Everest, and here he is coming out winning the shorts. Yeah, it was a mighty, mighty victory. He's some kind of sprinter, Nature Strip, Gleeson.
He is. He's an absolute magnificent... He's a champion. Oh, he's the best sprinter in the world. Now, the Swans have been given a morale boost with the re-signing of Buddy Franklin. Can they win the flag on Saturday, mate?
Oh, I'm excited, mate. I'm excited. I think the Swans... I think we can be oh, there's every chance. I think this signing of Buddy Franklin has come at the perfect time because there was all those questions swirling around throughout the course of the year as to whether he was going to go to Queensland or whether he was going to stay at the Swans. But by signing that extra year, hopefully that gives them the boost. And I am a Swans fan, as you know. We play this silky team Geelong, but I reckon the Swans can get the chocolates. I really do.
And there's been a bit of drama around punters missing out on tickets. What's the story there?
Yeah, look, it is an issue. It's been brought up over the past few days. So what's happened basically is that there's, as we know, 100-odd thousand people allowed in the MCG at full capacity, but only 30-odd thousand will go to the general public because, as identified, inverted commas, by some commentators, the fat cats are taking too many tickets. So these two clubs would have 127,000 members between them, so only a fraction of them get the opportunity to go to the ground to watch the grand final. So you're thinking 83,000 are missing out. Not that every one of those 83,000 want to go, but after 2 years of COVID, they really need to look at it, the AFL. You need to have the fans, those people that pay their dues, that turn up, that want to go, in the ground.
Timmy, it'll be a full house in Townsville this weekend. Parramatta fans, they're daring to dream. Cracking match. Cowboys, Parramatta, that is absolutely outstanding, isn't it?
Mm. Oh, it will be a ripper. And look, my son's come up here to Arrowfield with us. He's got his Parramatta jacket on. He hasn't taken it off since last Friday night when the Eels had that cracking win over Canberra. So Louis and many, many other Parramatta supporters are very excited about the opportunity to play North Queensland. And if they replicate that kind of form, they can beat North Queensland. Their record up there is pretty poor, but they dominated Canberra. And Moses, Gutherson, if that big forward pack does the job, they can really press on North Queensland. And remember, they haven't won the premiership since 1986. That trophy cabinet needs to be stocked up, Gleeson. 81, 82, 83, 86, and then it's been donut ever since.
Well, tell Louis that my little bloke, who's 11, he sleeps in his Cowboys jersey the night before a game. So those two will have a lot to talk about after the outcome of that. Now, Timmy, Latrell Mitchell, isn't he? Well, now, speaking of champions, he's outstanding. Can he prove the difference? And can the Rabbitohs defy the odds against the Penny Panthers? I'll tell you what, Penrith, when they've got Nathan Cleary there. They're a different side, aren't they?
Oh, they deserve their favouritism. There's little question of that. They won the last premiership last year. But if there is one player that can lead South Sydney to an upset win, it is Latrell Mitchell. As far as I'm concerned, I think he is he is that X factor that's left in the competition. Of the 4 teams, he's the player, if the other guys in his team do the job, that can get his side the win. This is going to be an exceptional game of footy. They dominated the Sharks, and him and Cody Walker weren't at their brilliant best. If they are at their brilliant best and everyone else does the job, they can beat Penrith. But it is quite salivating, isn't it, to think that we might see a South Para grand final. I think any of these combinations would be a great grand final. Of course, as I say, Penrith deserve their favouritism and a lot of people expect them to win, but they can be beaten.
It's that time of year, isn't it, Timmy? It's just an outstanding time to be watching footy. And before we go, I know you're a big fan of Cameron Smith, the golfer. He very controversially joined the LIV Tour. Of course, the Shark, Greg Norman behind that. He won his first event at the weekend over there in Boston, and he pocketed about $5.6 million US. It's big bickies, isn't it?
Gets you a long way on a ferry, doesn't it, that kind of money? And it's more than what he won in the Players' Championship. If anyone thought that this guy was going to be rattled by the whole idea of the controversy of moving to the LIV Tour, they need to think again. He really is unflappable. He's a fantastic golfer. We saw that at the end of the British Open. A little anecdotal story with Cameron Smith a few years ago when I was working on early morning TV. I was out there watching the Australian Open, following Cameron Smith around. This bloke come up to me, he goes, "Mate, did you eat that meat pie you were talking about on the telly?" And I said, yeah, I did. And it was Cameron Smith's dad. And then in Melbourne a couple of weeks ago, I was interviewing Cameron Smith. He goes, "Oh, you're the pie eater. You're the pie eater." So he's that kind of guy. He's our kind of guy.
You are a great pie eater. You're a great pie eater, Timmy Gilbert. Way back. Timmy, great to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us tonight on Credlin.